Okay, so as you guys saw in our last video, the blue truck, I believe, blew a head gasket. I don't know if there's any other damage. There was a large fireball, as you also saw, but all the rockers moved. I went to go assess things. These front two head bolts are hand tight. I have not loosened them of any sort. I came over here to start loosening them, and yeah, they're loose. Obviously the other ones are not, but yeah, hand tight. Thought you guys might find that interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and get this all stripped so I can pull the head, and I will get back to you to see what results we've found and how bad this head gasket is. All right guys, so we had 5 total head studs hand tight, or head bolts hand tight. Everything's pretty well off, and the engine, or the head's ready to be pulled. I just left the turbo on, disconnected the downpipe, oil feed and oil drain. The return line, injector return lines on the back of the block where they tee together, it's just a 1/2 inch wrench, and I undid that so I didn't have to pull the return lines off. Just all the electrical connections on the side, there's sensors and whatnot, and then the only thing left I have to take off is the AFC reference to the pump, and we should be good. All the fuel filter stuff I've gotten disconnected. I'll end up deleting all that stuff here as I'm doing this. This is the Fire Punk Cherry Picker hook. We make them for common rails, 12 valves, the 24 valve stuff obviously, and let me tell you, it is a lifesaver. I don't have to mess with taking the hood off or anything like that with this. Literally just hook it on with your engine hook. You can set it depending on how balanced you want it. There's different slot selections. It bolts in to the rockers. If you are concerned about how these bolts are holding it, you can look up the specs for how much tensile strength these things can hold. It's a ridiculous amount. I've picked up engines and transmissions fully dressed together with them. No worries. We're gonna lift this head off with it, and that should be all that is left on here. I say that and I keep finding more stuff. So there's a ground for the alternator going to the side of the head right here, and then our AFC, and we'll be ready to pull it off. So thanks to Mr. Brett's peer pressure, and Andy and Larson, and yeah, thanks to their peer pressure, you can kind of see what's starting to happen. We're gonna pull the engine out, and may or may not be verifying that that one works. Stay tuned. And Brett, his brand new Mega. Already getting the trans tore out of it. I'm gonna put a billet unit in there. Gotta love it. All right, as we are ripping the first gen apart, Brett has a 3rd gen pro tip for you guys. I figured you'd find this very interesting.
So this oil drain, really hard to get to. Pro tip of the day, take the transmission out.
Okay guys, so it's the next day. We are working on stripping stuff off the other engine, putting it on here, basically getting stuff painted up and cleaned up. It's snowing very, very hard outside, and I cannot take this outside to power wash it, so I gave it a brake clean bath. It did okay. Obviously it's not going to be perfect. I'm going to take some degreaser to like the paint and the firewall just in the engine bay so I can get some of that dirt off, but it's going to be pretty half-assed, so it's just going to be is what it is. This engine's not going to stay in here, but I need to get some data on it and just get things rolling before our big dyno day. So yeah, that's what we're doing right now, waiting for stuff to paint to dry for accessories to put on this engine, and then take some of the nice billet pieces off. And we're not going to be too far out from setting it in. I think we will be able to set it in in a little while. Alright guys, so I believe it is time to get this thing off the engine stand. Basically just going to come get the forklift and get it off of here, and we're going to set it in. I've got some of my accessories put on, like my fan pulley, which obviously in the shorty we didn't plan on running a fan pulley, and we were going to run all this billet stuff, but just going to swap all this stuff over so we can get it running. But I'm missing a couple very, very small things that we'll get this week, so I don't think I'll be able to break it in today, but yeah, so we're going to get this thing off here, get ready to set it down down in the engine bay of the blue truck for the first time, so should be interesting. Let's just see how it goes. Should work out fairly well. All right, let's hope it doesn't go to the moon. None?
Did you shut it off?
Well, that factory gauge might not be working.
Try turning it on and off again?
He said he's got it.
He said he had oil pressure.
You do?
Yeah. He shut it off himself.
Huh?
How much?
Yeah, did it go like halfway up?
I have line. I'm on the first line.
That was too uneventful, Gavin.
Yeah, it kind of was. Yeah, go ahead and start it up again.
Really just like
I'll put it at the idle that it's typically going to be at. And
Runs
let me know what
awfully
it-
good.